Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a pretty magical narrative to naturally absorb English vocabulary and grammar. And hey, we're going to do this entirely without the stress of traditional rote memorization. If you've ever felt totally overwhelmed by those endless textbook lists and rigid rules, you're absolutely in the right place. We're leaning completely into the power of a good story. Let's get into it.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with the reading strategy, uncover a mysterious tiny clock, check out the hidden library rules, dive into a high-frequency grammar focus, tackle a mini quiz and review, and wrap up with the cliffhanger homework.
Section 1. The reading strategy. Before we actually meet Luna, we need to set the rules of the game to make sure your learning experience is completely stress-free.
This brilliantly lays out our whole framework. First up, the story hook. We're going to chase the narrative first, zero in on the suspense, and please, literally put the dictionary away for a second. Step 2 is natural review. Just let the familiar vocabulary wash over you as it naturally pops up again and again in the text. Step 3 is our high-frequency focus. Trust the process here. We'll only pause to study the absolute most crucial mechanics of the language. And finally, Step 4, the cliffhanger, where we guess what on earth happens next. It's a real game changer for staying engaged without even realizing you're studying.
Section 2. A mysterious tiny clock. All right, let's transition into the small hours of the night and really immerse ourselves in this narrative. As we read, just keep an ear out for the subject and the verb. Let's set the scene, shall we?
I want you to really notice the quiet, kind of spooky atmosphere here. Just picture it in your mind. It's late, it's super quiet. Now ask yourself, why would there be a sound coming from inside the walls? This is that story hook taking hold, right? It draws us straight into the mystery without us having to sit there and overanalyze the grammar.
So the crucial takeaway here is how instantly we're introduced to this fantastic piece of magical realism, a clock sneezing glitter. Man, I certainly wish my alarm clock sneezed glitter instead of just aggressively beeping at me every morning. It pulls us right into the mystery. We're picking up on past tense verbs like heard and found, but honestly, our brains are entirely focused on this bizarre, glittering object hiding under the bed.
And then suddenly, the shimmering object actually whispers this instruction to her. This immediately creates a huge push and pull dynamic for our protagonist. It's giving a command. Should she really listen to a weird, glittering clock? What would you do in that situation?
Let's see how this builds Luna's emotional pivot. Look at the contrast between her past and present. On one side, we have her past habit, right? She used to hide from strange things, purely out of fear. But on the flip side, we have tonight's reality, curiosity. The desire to know felt warmer than being afraid. The whole narrative pushes forward because her curiosity has officially defeated her fear. By grasping this emotional shift, you're absorbing the meaning of these words in a way that just sticks.
Section 3. The hidden library rules. Now that the first question is out there, the world of the story suddenly gets so much wider. Let's see where her curiosity actually leads her. As Luna follows this silver line, because she just has to uncover the truth, the sensory details completely surround us. We get visual details with the silver line and physical feelings as it pulses like a heartbeat. Literally, every step feels like an answer. Notice the structure is naturally woven in here, like leading to or felt like. You're absorbing complex descriptive language simply by following Luna's journey down into this impossible library under the stairs.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the strange rule of the room it introduces. Right in the middle of this library, there's a note with this exact condition. It brilliantly builds suspense and totally raises the stakes. She can't just find the answer. She has to offer up something of herself first, a kind truth.
Luna takes a deep breath, and as she begins to look for the answer, we're naturally absorbing these essential context clues without needing to reach for a dictionary. To look for means she's actively searching, no turning back. A kind truth is that gentle honesty she has to provide. And a clue, well, that's the hint she hopes will guide her forward. See how the story just naturally defines the vocabulary for us?
This emotional contrast is just beautiful. Luna tells her kind truth. I am scared, but I still want to understand. She realizes courage isn't always that loud courage, where you're totally fearless and making a ton of noise. A lot of times, it's honest courage, admitting your fear but moving forward anyway. And when she tells this kind truth, the floor suddenly fills with stars, rewarding her honest courage. It's this wonderful narrative payoff that practically locks the vocabulary right into your long-term memory.
Section 4. High-frequency grammar focus.
We're going to transition away from the magical world, back into the mechanical world of language now, but just for a quick moment.
So this isolates the high-frequency tools that drive mission-based stories, giving you a perfect snapshot of the grammar rules that actually built Luna's world. Let's run through them super quickly. Before and after establish time sequences, like before he spoke, he took a breath. Have to plus a verb establishes a required task. They have to open the gate. Who and that are relative pronouns for describing people or objects, such as a bird that knew the password. And finally, find out simply means to discover the truth, just as Luna must find out the secrets of the clock. These are incredibly useful structures you're going to see literally everywhere in English.
Section 5. Mini quiz and review. Okay, time for our active challenge, where you get to test out your new skills in a completely safe, super low-stress environment. Let's see what's stuck.
Here's our first challenge. Fill in the blank. I, blank, open the box when it sneezed. I'm going to pause for just a few seconds. Seriously, shout the answer at your screen if you know it.
Well, if you guessed was about to, you are absolutely spot on. I was about to open the box when it sneezed. This phrase beautifully captures that exact feeling of being just on the verge of doing something right before being interrupted.
All right, let's try one more. Fill in the blank. Blank, Luna was afraid. She asked a question. Think back to Luna's emotional turn. What phrase bridges her fear and her action?
Even though is the correct answer. Even though Luna was afraid, she asked a question. This structure perfectly captures the contrast of her honest courage. It means, despite the fact that her fear was very real, she acted anyway. Really excellent job there.
Section 6. The cliffhanger homework. We've nailed the grammar, but Luna's journey is far from over. Let's head back to the library for our final step.
After the stars fill the floor, a small key with no teeth, just a question mark, floats down. And we're left with a burning question. Why did the clock sneeze only when someone told the truth? At the very end, the clock points to a door that was absolutely not there before. We're left with an unfinished clue and a door that shouldn't even exist, which leaves us basically desperate to know what happens in the next chapter.
Before we wrap up today's explainer, here is your mission. I want to leave you with a provocative thought to ponder for your homework challenge. How are you going to use even though in your life today? Take a look at this example. Even though I feel shy, I can speak one English sentence today. Think of your own kind truth and practice a little honest courage with your English learning. Try using this phrase today, and I'll see you in the next explainer to uncover exactly what lies behind that new door. Keep learning, keep exploring, and definitely stay curious.